Yo guys, Saivo here. Today I'm gonna be giving you my really honest opinion about Wildstar. I'm gonna be giving you some pros, some cons, and I'm gonna just tell you overall why you should actually play or maybe not play this game. I'm gonna start off by saying Wildstar as a game extremely polished. To tell you the truth, I haven't yet seen a game that is as polished as Wildstar, like gameplay and overall how it feels and how it looks. I mean, let's face it, I've been playing games in other games you kind of get like stuck into corners and you get like stuck in trees and in one of those bad graphic looking things you kind of like get stuck inside a mountain in between a rock and a hard place. So I kind of don't like that shit. It just looks, it just makes the game, for me, the whole experience turn into a what fuck, can they fix their maps? So Wildstar, none of that. Really polished game and really good to play, very smooth. Of course, things like, when you sit on a rock and your legs, like you see here, are like above. These things happen, but getting stuck, or like one of those old engine type of things that used to happen in Aeon and World of Warcraft, these things don't happen here. So that's my number one. Really polished and also an awesome support. Carbine does a great job answering to tickets, basically answering to forums, and just helping people out. So if you have a problem, this is a game in which you're gonna feel the support really takes their time to investigate it and just deal with your issue. So that's a really good thing that I appreciate about the game, just from the get-go. Secondly, I would like to say that the servers are really stable. As in, I have, to tell you the truth, I've been playing for over a year and, well, close to a year, let's not lie. And I have never seen the servers like crash, just like bam, all of a sudden there's no servers. There has been an announcement every time they did have a like a hot fix or like a maintenance, not to mention the weekly maintenances, you know, they're always announced. Speaking of weekly maintenances, they never ever take more than expected. If they do, it's really rare and they will tell you exactly how much the estimated time is, and you're just going to be able to plan your time really nicely. So that's another big plus for me. Um, Very good looking game. I mean, it has basically everything. The level of detail, if you can afford to play high graphics, which you kinda need a cool PC to be able to play super high graphics, then you're gonna notice a lot of differences in between low graphics and high graphics. I mean, the environment is really good depending on which zone you are. For example, I'm just right here in a zone in which seems to have a little bit of ash flying around. So you can see that on my screen. It's really cool. It's really details. The level of details on characters is really nice. On gear, it is really polished and well made. Even though it looks a little bit like cartoony and like your sci-fi theme, the level of detail that they put into this cartoony looking thing is really amazing. So I appreciate that a lot. I'm not necessarily a sucker for graphics, even though I do care about them. So Wildstar completely satisfies me with this in this aspect. Um, Other than that, Wildstar is going to be free to play. So really soon, instead of a subscription game, it's gonna go to a free-to-play model. That is really important and that's really cool because free-to-play model is gonna be basically totally free to play. Of course, there are some differences in between free-to-play players that don't want to buy an in-game subscription because you can buy it with in-game money, which is another big plus. Or you can buy it just with normal money and be a signature member. That gives you some perks compared to the free-to-play members. The perks that it gives you, that's another plus, are not game breaking. So if you're like a subscription guy, you're not gonna have some game breaking advantages, and if you're a free-to-play member, you're not gonna be like, oh poor me, I don't know what to do now, I cannot do anything in this game. It's not like that. It's not like in some other games which I will not mention. Not a single bot, not a single cheater, not a single gold seller. Straightforward in your face, guys. I mean, there were some at the beginning. There were some gold sellers. There were some bots as well when the game launched. 2 months later, not a single one. 1 year and 2 months later, today, not a single one. There is no such thing as cheating. There's no such thing as gold selling, as there's no such thing as botting. At least I'm talking in the client that is already out now, which is the, subscription client. In the free to play client, things may change. So, I don't know about that, but one thing I can guarantee you, as I said at the beginning, Carbine, an amazing job in supporting the game, making the game awesome, and keeping it clean. For me, it's really important to have a clean game. I don't fucking like bots, I don't fucking like cheaters, so I just cannot stand someone cheating. Not a single bit. Um, Game for me, because nobody is cheating here. So, really awesome. If you like the same thing, game for you as well. Other than that, the cash shop that's going to be in free to play is a really honest and nice cash shop. So there are no pay to win things there. There are no, oh my god, I'm gonna get this item. Oh my god, if I buy lots of those items, I'm gonna get this. Let me tell you why. First of all, there is not much in Wildstar that you can do with gold, with in-game currency. As in, not much at all, almost anything. Um, so selling gold is kind of pointless, buying gold is super pointless, and other than that, I will have to say that in the cash shop, even if they would put items that you could sell in turn for gold in game, you would still not be able to do anything with that gold, just because there's not much to anything to do with gold. So that's one thing that works for them, and it works for us as well, or at least for you guys that don't like pay to win things. I personally, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't mind the pay to win game. I love Wildstar, it's not pay to win. I love the other subscription games, which they are not pay to win, but I don't mind the pay to win game. So, sorry, guilty. Now, what else is there to say? A great community of players. So I would have to tell you this straight from the bat. There are two factions. One of them is Exile, one of them is Dominion. On the Dominion side, I can tell you 100% that the community is amazing. On the Exile side, I'm not gonna go into details, but I played there for some time as well. But I'm gonna say this. If you want a normal community of players that are not like super dumb or super elitist or dumb and elitist together, which is like the worst combination, then definitely come and join the Dominion side. It's a really cool side, helpful people, um, nice players that would help you, uh, groups from looking for group, so you can maybe even do without a guild for some time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Dominion side, and the community in general is super helpful and super nice, even on the Exile side. Other than that, what else can we say? Um, I talked about free to play, I talked about the community, a decent crafting system, which is gonna be made even better in the free to play client. So I would definitely say that the crafting system is gonna be a lot nicer in the free-to-play client. You should definitely, if you're like a crafting type of guy and you want to make some money out of it, I think you can make money out of crafting as well. Not a lot, like in other games, it's not that important, but it still counts for something. And in the new client, the free-to-play client, it's gonna count for a lot more. So yeah, that's also a plus for me. Many classes to choose from, and also 8 races to choose from. So as I said, there are two factions, Exile and Dominion, and there are 8 races, 4 on each. Uh, Having in mind that 2 of them are humans, the Dominion humans are called Cassians, and the Exile humans are just called Exile humans. Get wrecked. So the humans kind of look the same, but they have different gestures and different poses. So that's a thing that you should be looking at when you create a char. Other than that, every class can play two roles, and I mean every single class can play two roles. It's been seen in other MMOs, so nothing new. Um, but yeah, you have this option here in Wildstar as well, and that's a big plus for me. Um, Now, in other games, I do have to say that in other games, if you are for example, like a cleric type of char, like a medic, like a healer, you can play two roles, but in other games you could have the choice not to only be stuck in one role. Here in Wildstar, hybrids, like a combination at the same time of healer and DPS is not really gonna work. Just because of the fact that you have different gear and you need different weapons for, healing or DPS and tanking and stuff like that. So yeah, it doesn't really work here. But it's still really cool that you can switch when you're out of combat. You can switch in between healer, DPS, healer, tank, tank, DPS, and so on. So that's really cool. Um, Guilds are pretty important in Wildstar. So if you're more like 100% lone wolf, as I said, on Dominion side you can probably make it. On Exile side, 100% you can't. If you're into guilds, that's really awesome. They have lots of perks that are really useful, and guilds in general are pretty nice for those moments in which you need to raid with a precise amount of people that wanna do the same things and that are up for getting the same goal, like organized things. Guilds are really cool. Raiding, there is raiding in this game. There is dungeons, there is adventures, there is low level dungeons, there is raiding, and of course there's PvP as well. We're going to talk about that a bit later. Raiding, there are 3 raids at the moment. All 3 are 20 man. um, Reason why you kind of need the guild, and they are super fun, and one of them is actually pretty easy to do and mega fun. PvP, there is small scale PvP, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5. You can do it with friends or with guildies, doesn't matter. There is large scale PvP, 10v10, 20v20, 30v30 in the free-to-play client. The war plots, which we used to be 40v40, are 30v30 now, so that's really cool, a good thing for you to do. PvP is pretty balanced, I would say. Uh, I'm not quite sure in the new patch how that's gonna look like, but in the current patch, things are pretty balanced. I would say that there are one or two things there that can be done better, but overall, you are going to have fun, especially if you go in 20v20s. I think I would even go ahead and call 20v20 a casual PvP type of thing, because you kind of, it's kind of messy, and you kind of can get carried as well, and the map is really big, so you're not gonna get like zerged and wrecked by 20 people or 10 people just descending up upon you. So yeah, 20v20 is pretty fun. 10v20 is a little bit more, clustered, and like it's have, you're not gonna feel like you're like, yeah, shit, I just did that myself. I just wrecked that guy, because that guy is gonna probably have 3 more next to him. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty weird. But still, really fun. So it has PvP as well. Kinda has everything that you would expect from an MMO. It has an awesome, I almost forgot to mention, an awesome housing system. So basically in your house plot, you can build every single thing that you can possibly imagine. And I mean everything. It is amazing. So far, no underwater worlds. Since I'm swimming at the moment, there is nothing underwater besides some mobs that you might have to kill at some point. You can dive underwater, of course, but there is nothing much under it. Wow, I never seen this place. I'm just gonna go down here in this waterfall. The world looks amazing. The raiding mechanics are amazing, and the gameplay overall in PvP with the telegraphs and the action combat, which is a really big part of the game, is amazing. So it can appeal to skilled players and hardcore players that want to be good and practice. It can appeal to more casual audiences as well, because you don't have to raid the hardest raid if you're a casual player. You can just raid with the beginner raid, which I call it a beginner raid. it's pretty challenging as well, but I would still call it a beginner raid because these days people have a lot of gear, and if you kind of go with 5 newbies and 15 of those that have a lot of gear, it's kind of a wash. So yeah. Um, Other than that, has content for all ages and for all types of players. If you're a casual, you can find things to do. If you're a hardcore player, you surely can find things to do. So yeah, guilds for all kinds of players as well. Um, and yeah, overall, an amazing game. At the moment, with what's currently on the market, I would definitely put Wildstar as a number one because let's face it, what's out there? There's like World of Warcraft, which looks like 2 pixels. There's Aeon, there's Terra, there's Archage. What is there for Europe? I mean, it's kinda it, and some pretty crappy old games like Nine Dragons, Perfect World, Runes of Magic, those fucking Internet Explorer browser games these days. So yeah, I would definitely rank Wildstar one of the top games that you can play, especially that it's going free to play. And by the way, guys, if you want to be in free to play, I am on the closed beta client right now. You guys can be also. Just go to the website and apply there to get invited to the closed beta. Now, let's talk a bit about the downsides. I'm gonna try to be really fast because it's already kind of reaching 20 minutes. Um, Downsides. First of all, not much grind in the game overall. I know I kind of sound silly asking for grind, but I'm not talking about grind as in like let's kill mobs every day to get better. No, I'm talking about when you finish the hardest raid and you get the best piece of gloves that you can get in this game, there's nothing to do with it. You just get it, you equip it, and you're good to go. You're done. That for me sucks balls, to be honest, because I mean, yes, you have some runes to put, but if you have like 5 or 10 platinum in your bag, which you can get like every day, you're gonna be done in 3 minutes with the best piece of gear in the game, especially in the free-to-play client in which re-rolling slots, because you know the runing system, I'm not gonna get into it, but there are various elements, earth, fire, water, etc., and you can re-roll them if you don't like that specific element, so you can have your specific stat inside that rune slot. That takes T minus 2 minutes and you're done. So you know it's kind of stupid for me because no grind. I'm just gonna let it like that. You get the piece, it's already the best it can be. You can't get better. Easy. Number two, no enchanting system. No real in-game money sink. So you get a piece, as I was saying, you put 5 runes in it, you're done. You're absolutely done. You can log off. Um, if there would be some enchanting system, like you can plus your items, or you can like combine 2 items of the same thing to get a better result, or like you can like disenchant some items, like break some items and get like a stone that adds 20 fucking dexterity, brutality, whatever vigor they have the new stats. I would love such a thing. There's no such thing in Wildstar. I don't like that. Um, Too easy PvP rewards. We're talking here about if you do PvP 2 days, 6 days each, sorry, 6 hours each per day, basically in 12 hours you're fully geared with the best gear possible in PvP. I mean, what is that? I understand giving people the basic gear like for gold, like they do give you, um, but to spend 12 hours to get the best PvP gear possible, I mean, whoa, wait a second. That's for me, that's a big no-no. I mean, okay, spend 12 hours to get better gear than the one that you can buy with gold, but then put some gear that is maybe a higher grade or that has more rune slots. Don't make it game breaking, but just make it like hard to get. Like, give me a reason to log in every day because at the moment I don't really have one except the days that I'm raiding. Of course, me personally, I play daily because I love the game and I find things to do because I love it and I want to be better and practice. But other players, I do understand why they only log in for raiding, to be honest, because what is there to do? I have this, I have that, I don't need money. So yeah, anyway, that's a no-no for me. The PvP servers are empty. Actually, there is one PvP server in Europe, it's completely empty, and I'm talking here about 5 people playing on that server. because everyone merged to the PvE server, everyone transferred here, not merged, sorry. The PvP server is empty. That sucks ass. I mean, I understand that's due to the fact that the community is not so big. There's not like shitloads of players playing Wildstar, so that's pretty good. The PvE server is pretty lively. You can find groups always for everything that you ever want, almost at every hour as well. But the PvP server is completely empty. And that sucks because if that server would be a bit more alive and kicking, many players would join there because of things to do daily. As I said, PvP gear you can get like in T minus 12 hours. You go raiding, you get a piece that's already the best it can be. What else do we do? If we would be on the PvP server, then at least we could have like, just go and open world PvP. That's pretty cool. But that's not the case. So I hope when you guys come, and I hope you guys are gonna join the PvP server, I promise I'm gonna transfer there for you. Um, if you don't have a big passion for the game, like if you're not the type of player that wants to practice to improve, which is totally possible and it's a thing in this game, the more you play, the better you get at it and the easier it's gonna be and the better you're gonna look. If you don't have a big passion to play and improve, you won't play as much besides raiding, which kinda is a bad thing as well because that leaves many people raid logging. And yeah, today is a Wednesday. Shit, yeah, let's go raiding. Woo, 3 hours. But then when are you gonna see you again? I don't know. When's the next raiding day? Sunday. Sure thing. That sucks. Need something to do in the game. Carbine, please. Something to do. Put an enchanting system. Put, more grind for PvP gear. At least something. Anyway, that's a no for me as well. It's a downside for the game. Even though there are two factions, another downside, Exiles and Dominion, you don't really feel like there's two factions. There's nothing like making us fight except the PvP, the ranked PvP or the battlegrounds or the 2v2s, 3v3s. But then again, you can get Dominions in there also if you're a Dominion. And if you're an Exile, you can get Exile as well. So that's a thing I personally don't like. I think it's a good thing for the game because more groups are found. But killing my own faction is a thing that I never liked. I know in Aeon it was the same. At one point they changed it due to too few people queuing up. So yeah, I totally get it. But you don't feel like there's another faction. You see them in the open world, you do not care. It's just that their names are read like a mob. So, nothing makes you fight with them. Nothing makes you have a grudge against them. And you should, because the story of the game is like both of these factions are like fighting for planets to live on. How am how am I fighting with them? I'm not fighting anything. There's no sieges. There's no like maps to claim. There's no camps to claim. What exactly is the point of two factions without a PvP server? Of course, they do have PvP servers, so I get the idea, but the PvP servers are empty, thus making two factions seem absolutely pointless. And when you kind of like read the story, it sounds a little bit ridiculous if you've played this game for like 6 months and you have never seen an exile in your life. You're like, wait, the story tells me that I'm fighting with someone. Who's the other people? Anyway, that's another no. Besides that, I think I'm good to go with the nose. I cannot say much anything bad about the game, just because the game is awesome. So besides the few no's that I've said, everything else is amazing about the game, and it's a game that fits everyone. And I do recommend that you guys at least try the beta and give it a try in free to play. Join a guild, whisper me in game for God's sake. Let's play together, let's have fun. And I'm gonna show you how fun Wildstar can be, and also how hard it can be in some situations if you're interested in hard things. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Lots of love and stay tuned.